Hey, this is the final boss, and this is Fungal Colony Sim. I will probably have to make a few updates here because it decided not to show up on my screen. Ah, there it is. Now it's showing up. Yes. I'll put the important bits over here. But yeah, this is essentially a light idle game. I was I was giving it feedback, and I just realized that it had like not shown up on OBS very well, so I'm just having to do a monitor share now. So please don't steal all my passwords. Um, but yeah, I mean, essentially my thoughts were I've reviewed a number of idle games like this before, right? And I think idle games are a fantastic system, and I actually believe it's very underutilized. I think there's a lot of opportunity in idle games, and sort of these like kind of clicker type games. Because you can add like narrative, you can add depth, you can add mini games, you can add this whole journey around it, which I think is like really interesting. And there's always content waiting for the player when they get back. Like that's I think the beautiful part about auto harvest. Frickin' finally! Yeah, that took way too long to arrive. Uh, so yeah, my biggest complaint is auto harvest comes way too late in the flow. Like my hand already hurts from just like clicking it. You guys missed the first 5-10 minutes of it, just me massively clicking. Oh, I have my writing sprint timer up. There. So yeah, but again, like these games, you really do want to make sure. I mean, so the hitboxes are kind of small. It's kind of hard to target the individual mushrooms. Oh, please, just auto harvest. Oh. I gotta click on it still? Okay, it just takes us forever. Okay. Mushrooms per second, 1.2. Okay. Interesting. So yeah, I mean it's chugging along now. I like that it's all, but auto harvest should come way sooner. Um, but I feel like that, there should be other aspects that are kind of hooking me in at this point too. 10% honest. 51. Okay. Enrich soil. So after I do this last enriched soil square, something is gonna change, right? Ah, come on, auto harvest. You're going slow. Slow poke. Only at 1.3 mushrooms per second. Other thing too is like 10% increases are pretty minimal, right? And in idle games, like you want to feel exponential growth. So the fact that this is very lightly linear growth is something to consider adjusting, because it just doesn't, like you want to feel like a billion trillion zillion cookies, right? In Cookie Clicker, for example. And we're just getting 51, 52, 53. Like that isn't the feel good number go up experience I'm usually chasing when I go to an idle game, right? Because you just want to have the number go up a crazy amount. Other notes I've given to idle games like this before is, one of the things I think Cookie Clicker does really well is they have a ticker across the top. So while I'm waiting for my stuff to harvest, give me something to do, right? Besides clicking, whether it's like a little mini game on the side, whether it's like a little bar, and if I hit it in the middle, my production increases by 10%. You got to give me something to do while I'm waiting for grass to grow, essentially. I'm going to enrich the soil and see what happens. Okay, so I'm done enriching soil. Okay. So then I just increased by 10%. Converge. Abandon your current farm for bonuses to production? Converge with the hive mind? What? Alright, let's go. Your farm is not grown, but it's not... Your farm is grown, but you feel a call of another. Converging now will grant you... Natural log, 87. Wow, there's some... You're showing the math there. Brown, red, blue, total spores, and... I suggest converting around +5 spores. Reset and all mushrooms and mushroom purchases will be lost. I mean, I don't even know how I get blue mushrooms. Actually, I don't even know, man. 5S e to the 1.1 grows in 5 seconds. Value scales at e to the 1.1. Okay. Well, someone is like a math person doing this. I'm ready. Let's converge. I just want to see what happens. Okay. Okay, so this is kind of like the cookie clicker reset here. Yeah. Interesting. But then I'm right back to clicking. And then does this one still go? Oh, whoa, Plinko board. Oh, so there is something to do on the side. Okay. I'm converged. I'm okay, so there's more to this game, obviously. Fire, mushroom growth, and sell price. Golden spores! I don't know idea what's going on. Did I lose? I got 14. I'm somewhat confused. And by somewhat confused, I mean I'm very confused. I like that there's something else to do. I don't know, but again, like, you want all the parts to form a whole, right? And so this is a fun mini game, like Plinko, mushroom growth and sell price, fire. But how does this help my mushroom growing business? Plus 16, does that apply to anything here? Doesn't really seem to, right? Oh man, the auto mushroom needs to be way sooner. It is very frustrating to have to click through this many mushrooms manually. I guess I can just hold down and wiggle my mouse. Like, that is something you should tell me in the tutorials, because mouse wiggling is way better than freaking clicking. So definitely say, hey, if your like finger hurts from spam clicking, just wiggle your mouse. That's better. But still, yeah, I mean, the auto thing comes way late. And I don't even know how to get blue mushrooms. My goodness. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Oh man, that's way better. But the hitbox is also a little small, which I don't love. Alright, come on, auto picking. I don't know when it triggered, where it was like once I got a second row, or was it after I got enough growth? I just have no recollection. I'm just gonna play some Plinko. Show hide shelf. What? Collectible owned. Look at your collection. What collection do I own? So my mushroom growth is impacted by my collection that I somehow generate on Plinko. Soft cap 10, and the Plinko has a time cooldown. Oh, come on, man. I haven't gotten a single, like, Plinko thing. You know, again, I want some dynamism, right? I want to be able to, like, hold and fire for a hard fire, or I want to be able to, like, tap it quickly for a, like, gentle shot. So score 81, so then I can do unlock cauldron. Sure, unlocks a cauldron. G-spore multi, unlock a farm. I don't know. What are these? What are these? Alright. This I understand. I think it's not tuned quite what it needs to be tuned yet, but this I do understand at least. Oh my gracious me. Come on, 36. Come on, 36. Clickety clack, and then I gotta get another 50 for the gosh darn thing. Alright, we'll see. But yeah, so overall, what are my thoughts? I would definitely have some fun flavor text. I think that's always an easy win. I like that you have a secondary mechanic of Plinko. It needs to build. This is just starting me in the middle of kind of a very complicated scenario. Like, think about, you know, there's a Plinko roguelike game. I forget what it's like. But it's essentially like they kind of start you with a very simple Plinko environment and then add more complexity to it, right? Like as time goes on, right? Just like in the same way. Auto harvest, please. Yeah. So now I can just play Plinko. I don't know why I have a hole in the top. Oh, that's a portal. Got it. What would have happened if it had gone in there last time? Alright, whatever. Score 190. What do I do with this? What do I do with the score? What do I do with the score? I can't unlock anything. These are my convergence points, I think. Still a little confused. Still a little confused. Yeah, these seem like just two unrelated games that both have a mushroom theme right now. Don't know how they interact. I like that you have some mechanics like this, but I don't think it's quite yet enough to do what it needs to do. So it gives me converge +3/+1. So it says to converge around 5. But I don't want to converge because it's so gosh darn annoying to freaking click everything. I just don't want to. So I would just leave this sitting if it was me. But yeah, so I think there's a few things. Like the early game scaling I think needs work, right? The fact that auto, you know, it should be like the first thing you buy is auto collect, right? Like the first thing you buy in Cookie Clicker is the auto clicker, right? And even though it's, you know, you can augment it by still spam clicking, you're at least getting something while you're waiting. And it takes too long, I think, for this game to get to that something. Gold Spore Chance. I still don't know what that means. But again, like, it feels like this game kind of ends. Like, it's telling me to, or at least last time it told me to converge. It told me to converge when I was at, like, 5. Which feels like this progression has moved, you know, like, I feel like I just am starting. And it's asking me to do, like, a, you know, what the cookies, like, prestige run or whatever they're called. Like, when you go back through it again. So I'm a little bit, I would think about the mechanics. I would go and just like sit down with Excel. And I know you've probably done this a million times and you're like, I get it, Jeff. But just figure out that flow, right? It doesn't feel like it feels great right now. You have a lot of good pieces, a lot of good ideas, but they're not forming a whole, right? The Plinko board and the Mushroom Idle game feel like two different games that just happen to be in the same executable. Executable. Same file. I can't talk. The converge, like the kind of like legacy mechanic seems to come really early in the life cycle. I'm surprised like I can't get blue mushrooms at this point, or like I don't know if I can, I'm just not looking for it. Or if I like have to converge a bunch more. So again, like I would just also put like a really simple tutorial, even if it's just a text box, like collect mushrooms by holding your mouse down and wiggling over the board. Like, right? Don't make me click, which is what I was doing for like the first round and I hated my life. And then, you know, hey, if you play pachinko and you get lots of score, that translates into something of value. I still couldn't tell you what it does besides making my score number go up. I don't know if it's because of my converge. It suggests converging around 5 spores. Oh, so these are the spores. Spores gained hive mind level. Oh. Okay, so I would have gained... so I kind of messed up. I converged too early last time. Got it. But yeah, I mean, a lot of this... Yeah. there needs to be some signaling about, hey, maybe there's a glow, or when I have a power up ready, there's a little exclamation mark that like jumps on one of my arrows and says, hey, you got a pachinko roll ready, press this. And then maybe you have another mini game and you can go, oh, go to the fishing mini game and fish for mushroom fish. And that one's ready. And I think that's a really good idea, right? Is to have an idle game with active games that feed into it. The issues I'm seeing is that the active games, or the soft idle games like pachinko, they're still pretty standalone. They don't seem to really connect up and do anything. So that was kind of strange. But yeah, overall interesting project. I like that you show your math. I think that's really helpful for the player. But I really would like, I didn't know what the spore was and what the, what is this? I don't even know what this top one is. 4 brains. I don't know, actually, So yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of opportunity here. I think, all idle games, I think, are, they have value. I think they're like a very underserved genre. But, give me some flavor text. Make me feel like I'm in the world. Do what Cookie Clicker does even, where they have those news bulletins that are really silly and fun and they just make you laugh. Or, try something different where, I can minimize this, run it as a service, and then next time I log in, all my stuff is still, it's still there, and I can, pick up right where I left off. But yeah, overall, I think this is an interesting project. I think the scaling still feels a little flat. Like 10% growth does not feel super good, especially when I have to like wait 81 whatevers to get that 10% growth. So yeah, maybe make the scaling a little bit faster. I would definitely have auto harvest come a lot sooner. And these just need to connect more, and I would consider adding more mini games or some other little opportunities, like events, like something happened. Oh, the mushroom, like, what they have in Slay the Spire, like the Mushroom King has come to visit. He will give you 100 mushrooms, but you must trade away one of your spores. Do you want to make that deal? And then you can kind of have a little bit more dynamism within the world, right? Because so much of it is idle games. You just kind of enter this environment, and it's just kind of soaking up that environment and having these like wins kind of come, having the slot machine hit while you're in it. So yeah, I don't know if this hits the mark quite yet there, but overall, I think it's a really interesting idea. I would encourage you to keep working on this, and if you want me to try another build in the future, send it over. I'd be happy to take a look. Great job, the developer, and keep up the good work. Take care.